This is absolutely disgraceful. And if this doesn't merit Liverpool having an asterisk on the Premier League title they are about to win undeservingly, then I don't know what else merits this kind of disgrace. Because look at this. Liverpool have the most penalties awarded by anyone else, 9 pens, and then least against. And the one penalty that actually was against them was missed. Let's look at Arsenal, 13th. So, they've got 2 penalties awarded this season, scored both. And then penalties conceded 3. So they've conceded more pens than they've actually been awarded. And you might be saying, oh, this has to do with Liverpool's discipline and Arsenal, lacking discipline, which is kind of not true because look at this. Just this weekend, we seen right here a non-penalty awarded against Arsenal, which cost them 2 points. Everybody and their mother and their grandmother and their great-great-grandmother knows this is never a penalty. Miles Lewis-Skelly doesn't even drag him down. This man just fell. Just fell. And somehow you can watch this over and over and over and over again until you fall off your chair and you can see any angle, more angles than God himself. And you literally get the call wrong and you tell me that's not corruption. PGMOL absolutely loves Liverpool because then over here Fulham, 1 penalty, goalkeeper absolutely smothers the Fulham player. And then bam, again, Raul Jimenez down. Like, absolutely disgraceful how non-penalty and penalty when it should be flipped. A pen should be awarded, but luckily Fulham actually do end up getting the win. But Arsenal dropped 2 points. And in a place where Arsenal should have gotten awarded 3 points and should have closed the gap from 11 points where it's at right now to 9 points. It should be 9 points, right? Instead of an 11-point deficit because 2 points were missed there. Everybody can agree here. And then there's 4 incidents. 4 where Arsenal were absolutely robbed. Right here, Declan Rice awarded a red card, which then Brighton end up leveling and costing Arsenal a couple of points there. So instead of 9 points, it should be 7 points. Oh, you think that's where it stops? Actually, Trossard giving 2 yellow cards by this absolute disgrace of a referee. Costing Arsenal, they're up 2-1, dominating the game, in fact, against a very weak City team. 2-1, and then it ends up leveling in the last minute 2-2 because Arsenal have to play a full half without a player, playing with 10 men against City, where they were even criticized for defending. Criticized by Man United legends like Gary Neville, saying that they just sat back and didn't want to win the game. You're playing against you're playing against 11 Man City with 10 men. And then when United do it with 11 men, no problem. Tactical masterclass from Ruben Amorim. Shows bias reporting there. But right here, 2 points another. So instead of 7, it should be 5. All right. Oh, this doesn't stop here. Another 2 points right here lost because of a incompetent refereeing. Not like we have a replay system and VAR to fix this. Instead of 5, it should be 3. Then over here, another issue, or this is the one I just covered actually. Apologies. But then you could even say, comment right here talks about the Bournemouth one. Where is it? Apologies. Yep. A Bournemouth red card changed the game. The game when the next day Chelsea played, the same thing happened. No red card. This explains the 12-point Liverpool lead. So right there, this lead instead of 11 points really should be, possibly 3. It should be a 3-point deficit if it's Arsenal above or under, but it should be no more than 3 points. But the Premier League instead has it here. 73 points for Liverpool, Arsenal 62 points. This is an absolute shameful display of referees influencing the game. There's a reason why referees are either striped or a different color from both teams, because you're supposed to be unanimous. You're not supposed to be choosing what team you prefer. We've seen referees prior come out, and David Coote, he's come out when he was refereeing key matches between Liverpool and City, basically saying, I couldn't stand Liverpool. Oh man, Liverpool sucked. And then you go check the refereeing that he did on the Liverpool City games, and you would absolutely see huge biases against Liverpool. So the referees are nowhere near innocent here, because you've got former referees, now this man's suspended, but coming out, doing illegal substances, by the way, recorded admitting all this. And you think he's the only one? No, multiple referees, multiple. You've got, referees that are absolutely against Arsenal. And my absolute solution to this would be stop using English referees, local referees, man. You're coming out and you're getting a Tottenham fan to referee Arsenal City and expecting non-bias. Make me, go out and referee. I strongly dislike Barca. You make me referee Real Madrid, Barcelona. I'm definitely going to be awarding pens for Real Madrid. If it's 50-50, Real Madrid's getting the pen. If it's 20-80, Real Madrid is still getting the pen. That just shows right there bias. That's why I'm not refereeing those matches, because there's going to be clear bias there. So my solution there would be getting, Italians to come in and referee the Premier League, getting some, Netherlands referees, getting some Swedish referees, getting some referees abroad, whatever, just non-biased referees. And the Premier League suffers from this because instead of having a competitive title race, the title race is over. Nobody's watching the Premier League anymore because they already know Liverpool's done and won the Premier League thanks to the MOL. Arsenal's going to get second. Nottingham Forest is looking like they're going to get Champions League football. It's kind of definitiveness. You've got a top 4 race between Chelsea, City, Villa, Newcastle. But in reality, we kind of know City's going to somehow get in there, and you'd probably think then the other 2 spots are up for grabs, But it's really non-worthy of watching. Not even on the bottom. You don't even have relegation being tight. There's a 12-point difference between Wolves and Ipswich Town. So the 3 that came up are going straight down. And, you could just make fun of United and Tottenham for being so low, but it doesn't really matter because do they even want Conference League next season? No. They rather be in non-European competitions if it's not Europa League or Champions League. So this season is already thrown away, and it's going to have record low numbers. The United City derby has always pulled in numbers, even when United isn't competitive, because City are in a title race. But now City aren't even in a significant race that, all that well. And you have record low numbers for the Manchester derby. And not only that, ticket sales all-time low, viewership all-time low, and 0-0 draw is what they ended up getting because you pay what you get. And that's exactly what it was, a boring derby. Two, absolutely static or pragmatic, teams that don't even want to win. They don't even care. You've got Phil Foden somehow getting a 2.7 rating without an own goal or a massive error. That just shows the quality that was on the pitch. So that's how boring the Premier League is at the moment. That it's just all due to refereeing in the Premier League. The Premier League need to look at themselves and say, we absolutely fumbled a lot of money due to our incompetence in avoiding corruption into the game. So anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you believe Liverpool should have won this Premier League and be awarded an asterisk or not? I definitely believe so, due to Arsenal being caused more than 10 points. I believe once you hit over 10 points of points being taken off due to incompetent mistakes on the pitch, you've got to kind of say, oh, you know what, we've kind of messed up and screwed Arsenal here. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.